Now, let us discuss one of the important disorder of cardiovascular system, that is heart failure. Heart failure. What is heart failure? In normal words, if the heart skips its normal functioning of the heart and it results in failure of the heart. In general, this is a definition of this failure of the heart. Before discussing about this heart failure, let us discuss some important points which are concerned with this heart failure, that is cardiac output. This, as we know that this cardiac output is dependent on two substances or two factors, that is first one is heart rate, second one is stroke volume. Heart rate and stroke volume. Now this stroke volume is dependent on three factors, that are first one is intrinsic health of myocardium. First one is intrinsic health of myocardium. Second one is preload. Second one is preload, and third one is overload. Overload or afterload. These are the three factors which are responsible for the stroke volume. Now let us draw the diagram of the heart. Let us consider this is the left atrium and this is the left ventricle, and it is a mitral valve, and it is aortic arch, and let us consider this is the myocardium. This is the myocardium of our heart, and let us discuss the health of myocardium. This is the coronary sinus. This is the coronary artery through which the blood will be entered into the myocardium. Now, and it also brings the oxygen to the myocardium. If there is any damage, or let us consider this is a let us consider this part of the myocardium got damaged, and if there is a damage to this part, now if there is damage in the myocardium, now the outflow from this myocardium or the inflow to this myocardium through the coronary sinus will get decreased. If there is any problem in the myocardium, or any problem in the health of the myocardium, or there any damage to the tissues of myocardium, then there will be problem to the stroke volume, and it results in problem of this cardiac output. As a result, heart failures will arise. This is the first problem. Now if we discuss about preload, what is preload means? The amount of the blood which is present in the ventricles at the end of diastolic condition. This is the blood which is present in the in the ventricle before the or at the end of the diastolic volume, and it is also called end diastolic volume, EDV, end diastolic volume. This is preload. Now if there is any problem to this condition, it results in heart failure. Now this is about the heart failure. Now if there is overload, if there is more amount of the current, if there is a damage to this tissue, and if there is more flow of the blood, then there is more flow of the blood through the coronary artery into the myocardium. But if there is any damage to this myocardium, then there will be no flow of the blood through this myocardium. As a result, the heart gets failed. This is one of the factor that results in heart failure. And if the preload value, if the amount of preload blood which is present in the ventricle is more than normal, then the extra amount of the blood which is present in the name of preload value, if there is large amount of the blood, now the extra amount of the blood which is present in the this ventricle cannot move from this aorta. As a result, the amount of the blood in the ventricle will be remained as it is, but the amount of the blood which is going out through the aorta will be decreased. As a result, because of preload condition will be increased. This condition is also called overload. This is about the heart failure. And if we discuss the second problem, that is ischemic heart failure. Ischemic heart problem, it is also called atherosclerosis. How does this ischemic heart problem arises means, if we discuss the definition of this, it is a group of clinico-pathological syndrome which results because of imbalance in the oxygen supply to the myocardium and oxygen demand from the myocardium. This group of clinico-pathological syndrome which results because of oxygen supply and oxygen demand. Oxygen demand to the heart. And let us consider this is the here it should be balanced with oxygen supply and oxygen demand. Oxygen supply and oxygen demand. If there is any deficiency or any impairment in the oxygen supply and oxygen demand, let us consider if there is supply of oxygen will be decreased. As a result, the oxygen demand in the myocardium will get increased. If the oxygen supply will be decreased, then oxygen demand will be increased in our myocardium. Now it results in condition called ischemic heart failure, ischemic heart problem. And before discussing about this coronary artery heart failure, let us discuss about first one, that is ischemia, and second one hypoxemia. First one is ischemia, second one is hypoxemia. Let us discuss about ischemia. Let us consider this is the left atrium and this is the left ventricle. And this is the myocardium. This is the myocardium, and it is a mitral valve. This is the aortic valve. And here, what is ischemia? And this, let us consider this is the coronary artery. And this is the coronary artery. It brings the oxygen, it brings the blood and oxygen to the myocardium, onto the surface of myocardium. If there is any problem in this coronary artery or coronary sinus, then the amount of the blood which is reaching to the myocardium will get decreased, and that condition is called ischemia. If there is ischemic condition, there will be three conditions. First one is, if there is ischemic condition arise in our body, the first thing is oxygen supply will be reduced. Oxygen supply will be reduced to this myocardium. Along with oxygen, some protein supply will be decreased. Protein supply. This is the first one, and it is the second one. Along with oxygen, protein supply will also decrease. And third factor is, when there is ischemia in the myocardium, the metabolic waste products will be decreased. Production of metabolic waste product will be decreased. These are the three conditions which can be studied under the ischemia. That is, if a person is suffering from ischemia, the oxygen supply will be decreased to the myocardium, and the nutrients and the proteins value will be decreased to the myocardium, and the metabolic waste which are produced from this myocardium will be decreased. This is about ischemia. Whereas if we discuss about hypoxemia condition, in hypoxemia condition only the oxygen supply will be decreased. That is hypoxemia. In hypoxemia condition, only the oxygen supply to the heart will get decreased. This is about ischemia and hypoxemia. If we discuss about the occurrence of this ischemic heart problem, it is most predominant in left ventricle than compared to the right ventricle, because in left ventricle, this is the left ventricle and this is the right ventricle. It is tricuspid valve and it is pulmonary valve. Here this is myocardium. Now, if we discuss about the difference between the left ventricle and right ventricle, the left ventricle's thickness is more when compared to the right ventricle. First one is thickness. Thickness of the left ventricle will be more to the thickness of the left ventricle will be more than that of right ventricle. This is first point. And second one, the muscles which are present in the left ventricle are more contracted. These are the 2 points we discuss about the difference between the ischemic heart failure and now let us draw the structure of coronary artery. Let us consider this is the coronary artery. Now, one of the reason that results in the ischemic heart failure or coronary heart disease, first one is formation of atheroma. Or it is also called clog or atheroma. It is also called clog or atheroma. This is the first condition which results in ischemic heart failure or atherosclerosis, and it is also called coronary heart disease. Now, how this atheroma is found in our coronary sinus means, let us consider this is the atheroma in which on the upper side of this atheroma or plaque, it consists of dead cells of epithelium, dead cells of endothelium. These are the dead cells of endothelium. On the surface of this plaque, now the inner side of this endothelium, it consists of cap. This is the cap of the atheroma. This is the cap of atheroma, and inner side of this atheroma, it consists of foam cells. These are the foam cells, and at the inner side of the foam cells, it consists of extracellular fat. This is the extracellular fat. Now, this is the structure of atheroma. It is endothelium. This is the endothelium, and this is the cap, which is made up of fibrous protein, fibrous smooth cells. It's made up of fibrous smooth cells, and these green color structures are called, these structures are called foam cells. These are the foam cells, and this special structure is called extracellular fat molecule. Extracellular fat, extracellular lipid molecule or extracellular fat, and inner side of this block, it consists of special type of vesicles. This is the structure of atheroma or plaque. It is also called plaque, and this entire structure cannot move from one place to the another place. This entire structure is called stable atheromic plaque. Stable atheromic plaque. Now, if this stable atheromic plaque is present, it do not cause the ischemic heart failure. But if the size of this plaque material is more than 70%, it causes ischemic heart failure. If it is more than 70%, it causes ischemic heart failure. This is about normal, stable, and which cannot move from one place to another place. It is called stable atheromic plaque. This is one type of plaque or one type of atheroma. Now, if we discuss second type of atheroma, this is a second type of atheroma in which it consists of outer layer. It consists of dead cells of endothelium, on outer side of this atheroma, it consists of endothelial cells. Now, inner side of this endothelial cells, here the cap material is very much large, whereas and multi-layered. Here the cap layer will be only one layer. It is only one layer, and it consists of more number of foam cells. These are large in number. And the inner side of these foam cells, it consists of more amount of extracellular lipid molecule. Extracellular lipid molecule, and same, it consists of two vesicles at the inner side of the atheroma. Now, this special type of atheroma is called non-stable atheroma, or it is also called vermiculate atheroma. It is also called non-stable atheroma or vermiculate atheroma. If we discuss about the vermiculate atheroma, we will discuss about two terminologies, that are, first one, exosins and ulcerations. First one is exosins and ulcerations. Second one is ruptures. First one is exosins and ulcerations. Second one is ruptures and fissing. These are the two conditions. First condition is exosins and ulcerations. Second one is fissings and ruptures. If we discuss about these two conditions, let us consider this is a structure of. Let us consider this is a outer layer. This is the outer layer of endothelium. It is the outer layer of coronary artery, and this is the endothelial layer. It is the endothelial layer, and inner side it consists of extracellular lipid molecule. This is extracellular lipid molecule, and in case of exosins and ulcerations, there will be damage to the endothelial layer. There will be damage to the endothelial layer. As a result, when there is damage to the endothelial layer, platelet cells which are present in our blood will get attached here. Some number of platelets will get attached to this condition. Now, the platelets which are attached at the site of this endothelial layer where rupture takes place, and it will release special types of enzymes. Now, that special types of enzymes will attract the more number of platelets towards this structure. As a result, more number of platelets are formed. Here, more number of platelets will be formed. If we discuss this condition here, there will be rupture in this space. As a result, some platelets will be attached here. Now, these platelets will form the another platelets which will be attached here. Here, the platelets will be attached to this condition. Now, this is about exosins and ulcerations. Whereas, if we discuss about the fissings and ruptures, in this condition, the endothelial layer and the outermost layer of this atheromas will be damaged. As a result, the platelets will get attached to this extracellular lipid layer. you apply this condition here, now this is about exhaustions and this is about fissing and ruptures. Now on the surface of these platelets, this structure is called platelet plug formation. This is platelet plug, and on the outer side of the platelet plug there is a special membrane will be formed. This special membrane is called fibrin. The layer which is formed will be helpful in coagulation. Whenever this special type of membrane which is formed on the surface of these platelets, as a result, this entire structure will get detached. This entire structure will get detached, and it will move from one place to the another place, or it will move from here to here, or it will move from here. As a result, it will obstruct the pathway. In this condition, this atheroma is called verniculate atheroma, and it is more dangerous. And if we discuss about this first non-stable atheroma, if it is more than 90%, in the size of this coronary artery, it forms ischemia, ischemic heart condition, ischemic heart failure. In this way, whenever if this entire substance is blocked here, now the blood from the blood here, the blood will be stuck up here only. As a result, the blood cannot move from inner side to outer side of the coronary sinus. As a result, the blood to the myocardium will be decreased. It results in ischemic heart failure. This is about ischemic heart failure and normal heart failure.